Call to order the Stokes County Board of Commissioners Planning and Community Development meeting on Tuesday, August 6, 2019 at 7 o'clock. As always, we'll start off by invocation. You would please stand with us. Gracious Heavenly Father, Lord, we thank you for this day. Lord, just thank you for the many blessings you give to us. We ask you to just lead and guide and direct us while we handle the business of the county, Lord. We ask for forgiveness where we fail and give us safe travels back home. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. Amen. Please continue standing for our Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Start off our first item, the approval of the agenda.
So moved.
Second.
Motion second, any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
The second item is the public comments, and I don't believe we have anyone who signed up. Third item, the rezoning request, and I believe we have Mr. Mark Hopkinson.
Thank you. Dave is going to present the rezoning request for part of parcel on Stewart Road that we can, about 11 acres, actually, excuse me, about 9.5 acres that we're looking to get conditional rezoned for industrial, for us to put up our manufacturing facility. We currently have a manufacturing facility we're renting in Walnut Cove, Machining Welding Danbury, Inc. It's been about 12 years in business. My father-in-law started the company about 12 years ago. He's been a Stokes County resident for over 20 years now. I've been on board for about a year now, a little bit over a year, so we're looking to expand. We found this piece of property. It's really unique because it has the sewer access that we need in order to expand our business. It's really the only place in Stokes County that we're able to find that we can expand and build our facility there. It'll be about 37,000 square feet, manufacturing of mostly cell phone weldments and steel parts. So if you ever see a cell phone tower, all that steel and all that goes on top of it or on the sides of it, that's what we manufacture and weld, and we ship it around the country actually. So we're looking for hopefully to get approval for rezoning of that building. Does anyone have any questions?
Anybody have any questions?
Anything I could add?
Curious,
Yes, sir.
how many employees do you have?
Currently, we have 23 employees. We're obviously looking to expand, obviously with the new facility. We're in about 8,500 square feet right now, so going to 37,000 is quite a larger facility. I've been talking directly with the Stokes, Forsyth Technical College. It's right up the road, and they just have a welding program that's going to be starting there. So we're hoping we can gather some resources from them as well as some office jobs and other type of office space jobs. We have our hourly rate range from $10 to $35 an hour as the pay rate. Of course, obviously depending on where you're fitting to that. But we have current need obviously for welders and also AutoCAD drawers is where we are right now. We do all of our internal CAD work as well. Thank you.
Does everybody have any questions? That's fine. I don't believe
Yes,
anybody else.
is the well already there? The well that's going to provide the water, or you got
There's actually 2 wells on site. We don't know. We haven't had them tested yet.
Okay.
Next we have a public information meeting. I'll call Mr. David Stutter up for that.
Well, Mark did an excellent job explaining what he's requesting, and I'll go over a few other details. The request is for going from residential and agricultural to light manufacturing conditional zone for a machine and welding shop. It is 9.59 acres out of a 13.16 acre tract off Stewart Road. There's a portion of the property, 3.57 acres, across from Stewart Road that I think will be purchased with it, but will not be currently utilized. It will remain residential and agricultural, which will be a buffer between some of the residential properties there. This property is going to be served, as stated, and you'll see a note in there from our Public Works Director, Mark Delahunt, being able to be served with a sewer connection, which is a real game changer for us in this situation. Been working with Mark, I guess, 2 or 3 months that we've got together, and with the amount of employees that he is potentially going to be able to, he currently has, plus what he might potentially can serve, sewer is going to make the difference of whether this project would have even started or not. Water is important, but the sewer was the game changer in this particular location. This is not located in a flood zone or not in a watershed district. You can see the emergency services are South Stokes Volunteer Fire Department and Walnut Cove EMS. The erosion control takes place at the time of construction, and the access will be taken care of. DOT has approved a double access off of Stewart Road to provide ingress and egress to the property. Surrounding land use, y'all know the Meadows community. It is a mixture of different uses. They're quite a little, there are 8 commercial districts within about 1/10 of a mile of the site. There is the closest manufacturing district would be down high, about a mile away, JT Outfitters, down 89. Issues to consider in this, well, first would be job creation, the potential tax base increase due to commercial property, the utilization of the new infrastructure, the county sewer line to Meadows, support of the business friendly objective that was submitted by previous boards, retention of an existing business to be able to take a business that's here and be able to help them expand and stay within the county, which is a huge deal of trying to retain your existing businesses. Compatibility with the surrounding development. The Meadows community is somewhat of in a transition era. The county owns the old prison camp property there, the Forsyth Tech campus, potential for more growth. So there's some change going on in this particular area. From a staff comment, don't see any problem with this. With the welding program, Mr. Hopkinson mentioned, the trades program there at Forsyth Tech, it gives a real opportunity to partner with the community college to provide the technical training new workers into the workforce will need to get jobs, and they could get something in the area. Again, keeping employment within the county. Also, other land potentially in the area that this might precipitate future projects in the area with availability of sewer. And again, the community college could take advantage of whatever type of trade or type of activity maybe a manufacturing district would need. The planning board recommended by a vote of 7-0 to recommend approval of this. They felt it was consistent with the 2035 land use plan and also a reasonable request. You see notes in there from Mr. Hopkinson's public information meeting. We had a few questions that I got on property values that I went over with Richard Brim, the tax administrator. Other than that, I've not received any comment, positive or negative, about the request. Mr. Hopkinson can explain anything about the public information meeting. There was nothing in it that brought up any red flags from my standpoint or the planning board standpoint. And you will see that I have, as always, given you a statement of consistency and reasonableness that is what I perceive it to be. That's what I classify this in, and is a G3 mixed-use center and corridors. And that's part of our 2035 plan, and that transect zone is established to encourage medium to high-density development, regional centers, and industrial districts. The Meadows community near the intersection 8 and 89 has been identified as a commercial growth node in the 2035 plan, and it's designated because of the potential for long-term growth as the county develops, and also due to the proximity to utilities and location of major transportation routes in the county, which Highway 8 and 89 would be a major transportation route in our county. Also, the connectivity there with Dodgetown Road as it comes in quite a lot of traffic funnels in through that intersection as people migrate in and out of the county on a daily basis. Again, any recommendations, positive or negative, need to be made in conjunction with this, with the 2035 Stokes plan, comprehensive plan, and also stating whether you consider it a reasonable request or not. Do you have any questions for me concerning, you have a site plan development which is laid out, again, Mr. Hopkinson's 37,500 square foot building. He and I have been in discussions about one of the issues of not having public water in the area, and another thing is for fire suppression. Fortunately, his architect in the building code, there's a way to get that based on what he does. So looking positive in that angle, but that's another, again, with the sewer being a game changer, again, fire suppression is another issue we deal with in trying to do industrial type developments.
Do I have any questions, comments?
I think it's a great idea having the business there.
Absolutely. Vice Chairman?
Well, I just have a comment, and I think David alluded to this earlier. I think business retention and expansion in our county is a very important aspect of economic development. And I'm glad to see that there's an opportunity for that with this particular situation. Very encouraged.
Absolutely.
Thank you, sir.
Commissioner Yance?
No, I don't have any questions. Well, with the exception of the total tract was 13 point something acres, is that correct? And this is only going to affect 9.5 roughly?
Yeah, on your site plan, if you'll look, I think I marked it on yours, this part across Stewart Road
Yeah.
is not included in a rezoning request.
Okay.
This is a single family residence.
Okay. Okay. All right. I see. Yeah, I wasn't sure. I see what you're saying now. It's across the street. So.
The property is the Moorfield property owned by two brothers, and I talked to both of them, and they're both behind the request. Of course, they should, I guess, they presented it this way, but I did speak to them, and they were excited to see the potential of the area.
No, that's the only question I had.
Mr. Mendenhall?
Yeah, I certainly have been a big advocate and a proponent of improving our business possibilities here in Stokes County since I've been a commissioner the last 3 years, and certainly very familiar with this area. Living only about 3 or 4 miles from the location, very close to it, and know that area very well. I think it's a good tie-in. One thing that I believe in is I believe it's a good tie-in there with the Stokes County Forsyth Tech campus, especially with our trades building that's in the process of being built. And welding is one of the trades that's in our trades building. And so to me, that's just a natural tie-in. Welding and the welding building, welding that's going to be taking place in the Forsyth Tech Trades Building. There's other areas, plumbing and things that they have there, but welding is one. Good tie-in. Stewart Road coming right in there to the Highway 89, 8 there as you come in. It's just, to me, it's very good. The sewer situation is very helpful. And I think it's going to be, to me, very good. I'm excited about it, and I, like I say, I'm just right up the road from it on Flight Shoals Road, so I think it will be a very positive impact to that part of the community. So, Mark, thank you for considering that area. That's all I have.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Hopkinson, I want to thank you for looking at Stokes, for keeping your business here and expansion here. That means a whole lot to this board up here, and especially the citizens here, creating jobs. And that's one thing we was actually looking forward to doing, have more jobs here to keep these kids here instead of going off to other places. So thank you and your family for considering staying here in Stokes County. We do appreciate it. With that, Mr. Sutherland, what do you need out of the motion? How do we need to order this?
You need to make all the motions that the plan is consistent with the Stokes 2035 plan based on what I've given you, if that's what you want, and then that it is a reasonable request.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion if, okay with you.
Yes, sir.
I can make a motion for approval of rezoning 9.59 acres from RA to M1CZ for a machine and welding shop. I also would like to include in my request that this is consistent with the Stokes County 2035 Comprehensive Plan and that it is a reasonable request.
Okay. Motion to have a second on that?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? No, that's what the public comments up there was written it for, if you want to say something. Yeah. Does the board want to allow the person at the audience a chance to speak?
We've already had our vote.
We had our vote, but on record,
We can reverse our vote. I mean, I'm not opposed to hearing what he has to say, but.
is the board fine with that? Rick, are you okay with it?
I'm fine, yeah, I'm fine.
Mixed.
I'm not
It's
changing
sort
my
of
vote.
a deviation from our normal process.
Yeah. I think he was unaware that the public speaker was at there for the meeting at the sign up, so,
When I say it's probably not gonna change your mind, but I think if I can at least speak. I would
Sure.
appreciate it.
I'll give you a couple minutes, sir. I'll give you 3 minutes there if you don't
That's
mind.
fine, that's all I need that. My major concerns are.
I'm sorry, can you just state your name and
Oh,
address?
my name's Travis Campbell.
Travis
Sorry.
Campbell?
Yeah, I live in the house behind Meadows Automotive. Okay, my concern is I pulled up the aerial of the facility they have now. And it's, to me, I looked at the 2035, and I don't see anything where it shows like having what Meadows has, a mess, Meadows Automotive. I mean, that's a nightmare when you walk in. They just opened that new auto sale place, Pentel, whatever it is, LLC, down the road. Look at it. It's got RA land, and it's got all these vehicles sitting across it. I mean, we're going backwards. I moved in here 10 years ago, and we are going backwards. I mean, literally, because who's going to ensure that what Meadows looks like now, that facility's not going to look like, because I see it at their facility now that he said he's only been there 12 years. And I mean, I've got an aerial. I mean, it's bad. I mean, I'm very disappointed to know that something like that would be moving next to my house. I'm already fighting Meadows. I mean, they lost 55 gallons of oil, poured it on my land, killed some trees, and I'm trying to hide them, and they've yet to fix it, and no one does anything about it. You know, that junkyard that's wrecked cars is leaking chemicals down in the ground. Nothing done about it. And you can't say no one sees it. So how do I know that this place, y'all mind if I give y'all that so you can pass it? This is the facility he has now. Look around it. I mean, I understand the building looks beautiful. I agree. I like the building. But how do I know in 12 years it's not going to be, how much bigger is the building? Multiply what he has now, multiply it by the size of the building change. And can you imagine that? That's 2035 is the plan, right? So we're not even in that year, that plan. Because if you look at, I say 2020, we're at 2032. That's 12 years. You think business are going to want to move in next to that? I wouldn't. I don't even want to be here now because of Meadows. And I'm in the process of trying, I have lawyers involved, I'm in the process of trying to get the state involved and everything else, because I don't understand how Stokes County can't get involved. We got that auto, the new place that just moved, and everyone keeps saying, oh, places are grandfathered in. Okay, good. Maybe it's time to make some changes. Because that place is not grandfathered in. and they're parking 30+ cars. Here's this place. Y'all want to see it? And this place just opened. This is a place that just opened. This is the land for that place. How is it zoned? Where you see all those cars sit?
It's under citation right now. I mean,
But that's good.
Mr. Campbell, I spoke to you and you know, with medicine, we talked and I sent you the stuff.
Yeah, I mean, here's another one. This is Meadows on
But
the
have you made a official complaint about it? A lot of medicine is grandfathered in, but the car lot down there, it's
How can that be grandfathered in? That land's changed in hand in 2005.
What I'm saying is that bit of garage
That's
there.
what you expect them to come in and understand their process, just.
Should I have?
If I may.
I mean, you stop by there, Dave.
Gentlemen, as a commissioner, I want to make a statement real quick. We're getting way off topic. We're talking about Mr.
Well, that's my concern. That's where my topic
I
comes.
understand, but we can't compare it to what's existing in the county. I understand
Well, I
what you're
can't
saying
compare it to the business he
from
does
the
have.
business he's in, but that
And that's why I
business.
brought that picture.
Yeah, but
Because-
comparing it, we're getting off track here.
That's all right, you get you 3 minutes there. But
We're getting off track comparing it to other facilities, I think, so,
Well, it's just to show a pattern.
yeah. But
This
not
is the
his
overall
pattern necessarily. I mean, I understand that one picture. Yeah, but that was an existing building that, was previously owned by wasn't that the co-op building?
So that's all their junk around it?
Just so the board knows, just so the commission knows, I'm about to drop a $2.5 million check on this facility.
And just one other issue, that building's in Walnut Cove's planning and inspection jurisdiction. I don't have any control over that. And Mr. Campbell, I understand what you're talking about, but I do have that one car lot, before I talked to you, we've already started dealing with that gentleman. And I can send my guy to talk to Larry, but there's so much that I can do with the county law.
So when you say his grandfather didn't want to grandfather.
1983. There, I was just in 88, was there when I got here.
So the grandfather in 1983, but that land changed hands in 2005 and became.
we're gonna go ahead and move on. With that, is there any more discussion or anything else the commissioners have?
Oh, let's have it.
Yeah, you want to bring it back up and talk to you about this.
Mr. So if you don't mind, I'll bring you back up. We'll go ahead and discuss the last item there, the general discussion of updating planning and inspections fee schedule.
Really, this is just a general that, I know during the budget process, there was some discussion about this, and we have not modified our fee schedule since 2001. And I know that that had been discussed about looking at, updating things. And I just want to get some general direction on where I should go with this. And I've got some things here that are just in general notes. I didn't give you anything because there's nothing right now until we review over, but I want to get some direction from the board that we'd be looking at Surrey County, Rockingham County, City of King, and maybe a few other rural type counties to take a look and see if our fees are up to par with those counties. I know Surrey County has just redone their fee schedule. I know the gentleman that is over their support services over there. And I just want to make sure that this is the direction you want to go, because I have had dealings with previous boards and some of the board members. There had not been, when I mentioned it before in budget, there was little or to no interest in looking at our fee schedules. And one of our other concerns is that's building code fees, but the other is planning fees, about what we charge for just simply a rezoning petition. We are not covering our cost at all. It's just simply for advertising. That doesn't include any of what I do. That's part of the job, writing your agendas up and doing the research on it. But we're a couple $100 short every time on just a rezoning fee for the public information, to get that public notice out to the newspaper. And Shannon and I have discussed this, and we, by law, we're required to do this. And we're not coming close. The county's losing money every time we have one of these. And I'm a big, I don't want to, we're not looking to make money, but to cover the cost is something I would like to, bring out
for consideration. And I've been here a long time, and I guess maybe I'm never charged for, as we've gone over, I do a tremendous amount of services that other communities I do for free. There's no charge for 99% of what I do. And in planning and zoning, lots of times there's fees involved with the services that are provided to the citizens as user fees. You use the service, you pay for the service, so the rest of it doesn't come out of the ad valorem tax base. Again, this is just generally, I want to talk about the advertising fees are really something we definitely need to look at. But I need your direction before I spend a tremendous amount of time trying to research to make sure that we're in the ballpark of what y'all are looking for.
Okay. Any questions, comments?
Well, I'll just state real quick, I'm open to making sure that we're comparable to other like counties, and you mentioned City of King and other areas. I think that
we're not going to go too far. Forsyth County doesn't really play, or Guilford, because they're out. This is not realistic for what we have here to do. But they do have some things that we do, and there's types of inspections and reviews and stuff that we can consider.
it's not necessarily for me just the inspection fee itself, but it's the re-inspection, things of that nature. I think there's some areas where we're lacking there, where we're probably not.
Actually, that's the only thing that's been modified in the last 2008. We did modify it to include after so many re-inspections, the price went up.
Yeah.
Mr. Morris?
I would say, we need in the next budget cycle to look at all the fee schedule for all the departments. I think it was mentioned in this cycle, but we didn't end up doing anything, but I think we should be comparable with other counties across the board, and so we should just have taken action probably to look at all of our fees and see if they're at the right levels. I'm a proponent of user fees, people that are getting the services paying for it, instead of everybody else paying for the services people are getting. So, where it makes sense to do that. So I'm definitely in favor of looking at this. Probably not till the next budget cycle, though.
That's the question I had. There are some things I feel we're again, the county loses money on. We have some particular projects coming up and don't even really have, I need to, before next budget cycle, to actually bring you some information about stuff that didn't exist in our ordinance 20 years ago or in our fee schedule, to cover some items that may be coming up in the future. And I need to know if that's realistic to bring to you at a board meeting and say, look, you may not want to do the whole fee schedule, but can we look at this particular item, because I don't really have any way to charge for certain things. Mm-hmm. And these are things that will require inspections, so it could be a tremendous amount of work for very little money. And it costs training and for us to go out and do. And again, we're county services. I don't have a problem with that. But there are a few things we're very, very deficient on as far as, like I said, the use may have not even, we have not thought about it in 2001 when we were doing this fee. And in 31 years, we've only done it twice, looked at fees.
Did you have some stuff available Monday for the commissioners meeting to bring to us to look at?
Not for the whole thing, but I could probably get something together within. I need to do a little more research on the specific need I'm talking about, and that's the direction I wanted. Or if you're wanting to see everything done at one time, then we could put it together for the next budget cycle. And I have one particular area that I need to address. I think it's something we may be coming up on that we just don't. We're very insufficient on how to deal with it as far as charges. The other thing would be the advertising costs. They still continue. We're running $150 to $200, even sometimes $300 short. And like I said, Shannon can back me up on what it costs to advertise. By law, I don't have a choice. And we only have one newspaper to advertise in.
Our ad gets smaller, but the cost goes up. They do them in that strange box now where you can barely read them.
Yeah, they've changed. As the newspaper has changed hands, the ads have gotten smaller, and the cost is increased. And our rezoning fee is $375 for a conditional rezoning, and I think this one may have been like $546
Run the ad.
for 2 weeks, and that's by law, that's what's required.
Something that you can talk to your representative Kyle Hall about, you know. We tried it one time before and it got shot down. As far as the tax administration advertising tax liens and stuff like that. I mean, everything's online now, and it's just wasting taxpayers' money as far as I'm concerned in advertising these things like this. And I don't know if our legislators can get in and do some kind of legislating between now and next year that it would ease the restraints on some of these laws that requires us to do things like this, being that technology has changed so much now.
Mr. Walker?
Thanks, sir. Caught me by surprise, you were looking the other way.
I seen your reflection right there, yeah.
Couple of things. One is, I see where David's coming from, and I appreciate you bringing that to our attention at this time. And what I want to see in the long run is what's as fair as possible to the county's needs to cover expenses, and at the same time fair to our citizens and our users. So wherever that blend is. And the other thing is, if you have a special situation or two that needs more urgent attention than our next budget cycle, I certainly won't rule out taking a look at it and considering it. So I guess the next step might be just to pull together some information and at a meeting sometime in the fairly near future, maybe we could take a look at it. I know I'd like to see it. I'd like to know where the other commissioners are as well, but I want to see something in the long run that's as fair as possible to all involved.
Well, we'll continue working on the long term, but there's a couple of things I need to look at. And again, I mean, it doesn't make any difference to me personally what you do, but I need to bring it attention. Like I said, we've had this come up in past boards, and past boards had different opinions. This is a newer board to see what your opinion may be on this now, because it ever increasing, the deficit is going to grow as far as the cost to do business and service. Like I said, we're not out to make a profit, but better cover the cost of the department, because it costs all taxpayers that money to run the county, as you well know. And like I said, just even it out a little bit, and especially in advertising costs and then uses that we don't currently have, or things that we're doing that probably need a charge for that are simply just given away. I mean, as far as employees, we get paid the same whether we do it for free or you charge this fee for it. It doesn't really make any difference to us.
Mr. Manhall, do you have anything?
I'd add one thing. If you got a unique situation that's not covered, I'd definitely be okay with that.
We've got a potential situation that it needs to be addressed, and if nothing else, that's what I would address and let y'all decide. Shannon's got input on the public notices because she has to do a tremendous amount. I have to do a couple, so it is what it is. But on a couple of things, I definitely would like to bring in front of you and then let y'all make your decision on how you'd like to address it.
I'm fine with that.
Okay, we'll get something together in the next
the rest of them are.
for you.
Everybody else okay with that too?
Yes, I am.
Okay. We're fine with it.
In the end, I'd like to thank the county for the new vehicles. I started to think the last time we changed our fees was the last time we had a new vehicle, and I'm telling you what, they are nice. They are nice. I never thought I'd be here long enough to see this. I'm tickled to death. I've heard nothing but good comments. My inspectors, they just they look at them and I tell them, I say, we're gonna have a clean inspection. They're gonna be pretty trucks from now on. So thank y'all. It was a
And
good.
if I may, Mr. Chairman,
Yes,
as
sir.
far as the new vehicles, if I start getting fussed at over the county spending all the money to buy all these new vehicles all at one time, we can't explain that we're leasing them. We didn't buy them all at one time. We just changed to leasing our vehicles. And I'm glad it's working out.
I do say that, well, y'all got now, their lease vehicle, in long term, it benefits the
Right.
county, and I don't know how to explain the whole lease agreement,
The
but,
numbers look good.
it cost us a whole lot less. My maintenance budget was, I think we had the
was talking to a county employee this weekend who still has one of the old vehicles.
Yeah.
He told me he had to put it in L2 to get it going and then put it in drive after it started going. And I said, how long has he been doing that? 2 years.
Oh, yeah.
I think the new vehicles are
Oh,
definitely.
yeah. It definitely looks good.
Sounds
New parking lot full of the new vehicles like it. I know everybody I've talked to seems to be really happy about it and no complaints at all, but I've only got one complaint. I just don't know why the county commissioners have got a GMC and not a Ford. That's the only complaint I got with it, so. Besides, I believe we can move on from there. Anybody else have anything?
One thing, Mr. Chairman, and this is for Mr. Campbell and others too who might find this of use. We have public comment at every meeting, 3 minutes for any citizen that likes to bring something to the attention of the board. And it doesn't have to be a planning and community development meeting. It can be any commissioner's meeting. So you may want to kind of keep that in mind as well.
I've never had to deal with anything like this. I was really hoping the community was going in the right direction. To be honest with you, I'm ready to leave because what I'm seeing grow around me, and I looked at the 2035 and I was impressed. I mean, Walnut Cove looks good, everything looks good, but I just don't see that happening. You know, and I want to be guaranteed that's going to happen because I'm sitting on a very expensive house. And if that starts turning into that, what I see in front of me, I mean, my house is going to be worth nothing. So that's just my only concern. I want growth because I have kids. I want to see growth. I came from a big city to Stokes County. My wife got me here. And I don't want to live nowhere else. But with what I've seen since I bought the house in 2005, I mean, between the way metals have changed and what I'm seeing, it's just scary. You know, and that's all. Because I'm going to tell you, I'm a big believer in growth. I mean, I own my own businesses.
We appreciate you. Appreciate you coming tonight and speaking. And appreciate all y'all being here tonight. And with that, does anybody have any comments before we close it?
Just wish Mr. Hopkinson well with his venture. I hope that works out well for you, and I appreciate the ongoing confidence you seem to have in our county.
Do I have a motion to adjourn?
Make a motion to adjourn.
Any more discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Meeting adjourned.